Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines this morning. Chainalysis data for crypto and transactions are staggering. Bank of America analyzing crypto. You're going to like it. Circle and Jeremy Allaire, I believe, are the next ones in the crosshairs of the SEC, and it may be a lot deeper than we realize. Judge grants amicus status to John Deaton and 22,000 XRP investors. Joseph Lubin, co-founder, is praising the SEC for the way they are regulating this space. We'll get into that. Gasparino presses on the Ethereum free pass. This ain't over by a long shot, ladies and gentlemen. It's just getting started. And the Federal Reserve announcement on ISO20022. You're going to like that a lot. And we got new price targets for XRP and where we're going. Let's roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here today. $2.195 trillion for the cryptocurrency market cap. That is come up 3.88% in the 24-hour. They're already calling it 2.2 trillion. Listen, 2.5, the all-time high for the crypto market cap. Keep an eye on that, because once we get past 2.5, old money, all new money coming in. That's what we're talking about, right? And institutions are really starting to move into this space. Bitcoin is now back over $50,000 this morning. It's up 5+% on the 24-hour and 20+% on the 7-day. Ethereum back over 3,400 this morning. We're looking at 19+% gains on the 7-day as well. Cardano, $2.24. It's back on the green side of the market this morning. Solana is at $169.10, and boy, did I miss that one, and I'm feeling it this morning. XRP is right now at $1.06. We are looking at 2.70 on the 24-hour and 14.7% on the 7-day. Let's look at the price range really quickly this morning. We are ranging between $1.0177 on the low side and $1.0645 on the high side. So we're sitting just underneath the higher side of where we've ranged so far in the last 24 with the price of XRP. We will talk about new price targets that are being put out to pay attention to before we get out of here today. Lots to cover. Let's get started. New research from blockchain analytics firm Chainalysis finds that crypto transactions surged 706% in Central and Southern Asia and Oceania. In dollar terms, the value of the transactions amounted to $572.5 billion, or 14% of the global transaction value. How about that number? 14% of the global transaction value. Quick little story. I had a beach product that I invented many years ago, and what happened is I thought at the time I wanted to get on Amazon and be able to compete with this, larger one or two companies that really, really dominated the space. What happened is that I actually, in a very short period of time, took 10% of the market share of the largest beach company on the planet, and within days, the owner of that company got my phone number somehow, and I still to this day don't know how, and contacted me. You do not have to dominate 100% of the market to get heads to turn is the point. And here, knowing that you're seeing 14% of global transaction value being done over in the Southeast Asian area, Central Asia and Oceania, this is a head-turning moment for the new payment systems of the world, which are blockchain and crypto. So this is pretty exciting stuff right here. So looking at this, Bank of America really aligns with all of this information, but in their own way. It says here they've released a report and analyzing the current state of perspective of cryptocurrency industry, which is now too large to ignore. Exactly what I'm talking about. If we go into this thing, what's interesting about this, it says it's too large to ignore. The Bank of America's researchers note that 221 million users have exchanged cryptocurrencies or used a DeFi service with steady growth. Remember, DeFi service. We're going to get into that in a second. Increased participation of institutional investors is a clear indication that cryptocurrencies are much more than a passing phenomenon driven by retailers. Participation of institutional investors, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have to tell you this morning. You know about Link2, you know about private investing made simple. You can get these things like Ripple shares, right, as SPVs from Link2. I'm telling you right now that there has been a larger demand from institutions on the buy side of this stuff, which is causing the price of Ripple to go up this morning. I think by $1 per share or per offering there. So make sure you are aware. When I tell you this stuff doesn't last long, it doesn't last long. And the other side of that equation is not only does it not last long, but the demand is going up. And I can't personally myself, it's my speculation, but I can't help but understand that this is really a reflection of the strength that Ripple's gaining in the case. Now, looking back here, we have to say that Bank of America highlights that during the first half of 21, DeFi ecosystem received $17 billion in funding from institutional investors. This contrasts to $5.5 from the previous year. It goes on to say here that similarly, mergers and acquisitions in the crypto space rose from $940 million in 2020 to $4.2 billion this year. That's how fast this space is growing. Let's go ahead and take a look at this because this gets interesting. Circle, the issuer of USDC stablecoin, has now disclosed in a legal filing that it has come under the SEC scrutiny. In doing so, Circle confirmed it is cooperating fully in an investigation. Let's take a look at this because this gets a little interesting here. It says now the United States Securities Exchange Commission has been keenly watching not just stablecoins, but also high-interest crypto products. In fact, back in September, the SEC also served a Wells notice to Coinbase for its Lend product. Circle, the issuer of the USDC stablecoin, has now disclosed in a legal filing it has come under the SEC scrutiny. In doing so, Circle confirmed it is cooperating fully in an investigation. Okay, it says here, Circle's filing October 4th is a proxy statement prospectus. It says here, which detailed its business and various products. Furthermore, the filing disclosed regulatory action both Circle and its indirectly wholly owned subsidiary, Poloniex, recently faced. The filing stated, in addition to July 21st, Circle received an investigation subpoena from the SEC requesting documents and information regarding certain of our holdings, customer program, and operations. We are cooperating fully with the investigate. Look, on its face, you think, look, they want to make sure that the reserves are there, that it's matched 1-to-1. But listen to this, because we know that Coinbase just stopped from the Wells notice offering their Lend product. But listen to this, because Circle has one. Circle Yield is a set of fully secured high-yield interest rate products built on USDC. According to Circle's website, the 12-month fixed rate is 6.50%. Interestingly, the filing did not imply that the yield is a part of the SEC's investigation. Worth noting, however, that yield bears similarities to Coinbase's own high-interest crypto product Lend, which earlier came under SEC scrutiny. It is also worth noting that Circle Holdings and Coinbase Global Incorporated formed Center Consortium, which in turn developed USDC coin. If you remember, Jeremy Allaire and Brian Brooks, who was the chief legal officer at Coinbase at the time, both commented that it was one of the most important things they worked on in their entire careers, developing USDC coin. Though Coinbase has confirmed it is not launching Lend, a previous blog post had claimed Coinbase's high-yield alternative to traditional savings accounts offers 4% APY on your USD coin, a stable coin that can always be redeemed 1-to-1 for US dollar. This means that by lending your USD coin to Coinbase, you can earn 8 times the national average of high-yield savings accounts. Moreover, Circle's filing added, yield is generating through lending USDC coin out of centralized CeFi blockchain-based lending markets, which offer the ability to earn higher fixed-term yield than what is currently available in the traditional financial markets. You have to ask yourself, Why is this happening to them? These are incredible yields. This is better than the conventional traditional banking sector. Is that why they're being halted? Is this why they're being stopped? Because the old banks can't keep up, because they can't offer the same earn and return? Are you kidding me? I don't think so. I have to say, I believe that there is a there. And we do know that Gary Gensler does come from a Goldman Sachs world now, doesn't he? Now, I don't know if that's the motivation, but I tell you this, they certainly can't say that we're being harmed, because that is a great return for savings accounts in this market right now on any side of the fence you're on. And why would they stop us from being able to have access to it? Well, here's something they can't stop us from having access to, and it's John Deaton granted amicus status. That's right. He's denied the motion to intervene, but however, XRP Crypto Wolf says it best here. Judge Torres has allowed John Deaton to be a friend of the court by providing evidence and guidance for the XRP lawsuit to help Ripple, but he can't intervene directly. And that is the way to see it and understand it. And we have even more to that. Here's Jeremy Hogan here who lays it down and says, look at this from Judge Torres, order granting amicus status to XRP holders. Says, yes, Judge, a lot of things about this case are backwards. Why would 22,000 XRP quote unquote securities holders want to intervene as defendants in a case where the SEC is supposed to be representing them? And this is the highlighted statement here where it is said that there is no case law that addresses the specific circumstances presented here where unrelated individuals seek to intervene as defendants, effectively requesting that the court compel the SEC to take enforcement action against them. I mean, this is what dereliction of duty does, right? And it certainly does appear, if you go into this thing and really dig into this case, that there is an appearance of impropriety as well. That's why I've been calling for a separate investigation and a separate counsel be put together outside of the SEC to actually investigate this entire case, not just this case, but this entire approach from the SEC and Jay Clayton's tenure and William Hinman's speech. And why don't we know all those drafts, who were sent those drafts, who was a part of that? And I have a great feeling that the gentleman you're looking at was also a part of it. And that's where his arrogance comes from. And John Deaton acknowledges it here too. He says, are you serious? Joseph Lubin defends the SEC amid the Ripple lawsuit. He praises their regulation through enforcement. This is just smells bad to me. Hester Pierce, Crypto Mom, is an SEC commissioner and has been openly critical of the SEC's lack of clarity and its impact on innovation. But somehow Joseph Lubin believes the SEC is doing a good job. Joe needs a new PR advisor. I'd say so too. Well said. Because you know what the reality is here? The reality is that mainstream media, Charles Gasparino, Eleanor Terrett, Liz Clayman, Cheryl Cassone, they are not letting this go. They smell there is something wrong here. And this is DAI saying the Ethereum free pass is a conspiracy theory narrative has begun. This is a common tactic used when people get too close to the truth. I think there's a simple solution. Gensler, Clayton, Hinman, or Joseph Lubin, go on with Charles Gasparino and be on a panel with John Deaton. That's exactly right. And I shared a tweet that said that mimicked the same thing. If Joseph Lubin is so sure and proud of how they're rolling, then maybe Joseph Lubin can bring himself onto Fox Business News because he has no problem praising them. And maybe he can explain how in the world Ethereum had the initial coin offering overlooked so he could have this moral high ground to stand and go, oh, I think the SEC's doing a great job because we got overlooked and we didn't get penalized. How is that, Joseph Lubin? Let's listen to what is said here by Charles Gasparino.
I believe in full transparency here, Ellie. You and I have been reaching out a lot to Jay Clayton, the guy who brought the case, Gary Gensler, the current, who's continuing with the case as the head of the SEC, Mr. Hinman, who was the head of corporate finance, who's kind of set the sort of bar on what is a currency and what is a security at the SEC through a famous speech he gave in 2018, and many others. We want to get them on to explain their side of the story, but they're not. And it's frustrating because I want to hear their counter argument to what John is saying and to what Ripple is saying. And it just makes you wonder, if they're not doing it, is it because they really don't have a counter argument? I mean, it makes you think if they don't, because these are simple questions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Give me your side of the story. Are they thinking they don't have good facts? I don't know. And it's frustrating for me as a journalist who wants to give both sides.
Listen.
But be that as it may, we're not going to drop this story.
They're not going to drop this story because they know if you're not coming out and answering these very, very simple questions, it speaks to a very, very real problem now, doesn't it? Let's take a look at this, because this isn't a problem at all. This is the Federal Reserve Banks will adopt the ISO20022 message format for the FedWire Fund Service to allow for enhanced efficiency of both domestic and cross-border payments. How about that one? We go into this, and just to show you here, it is right here. There's not much more to glean from this, but I just want to open it up so you see this is it. And there's just a statement here. They're calling for any public comments and those things like that. But nevertheless, this is being done. And if you remember, we have covered this many times. This is from Ripple right here, an overview on Ripple's site. The world is converging on a new global standard, ISO20022, the de facto global standard for modern payments. To help enable this next step in global interoperability and meet the evolving needs of our customers, Ripple is now a part of the ISO20022 standards body and committee. It is the first member focused on distributed ledger technology. Come on in. Yeah. And then we see even more here from TAIG, who has been absolute fire on this and reminds us about the Faster Payments Council from the Federal Reserve Board, which was really developed in 2015 and put together in 2015, and Ripple's been involved at least since 2017. And this shows you right here, the standardization of technology leads to greater end-to-end efficiency. This is the adoption of it, and we know it's gone back quite a ways here. We can see that, again, the Federal Reserve Board on Monday announced that the Federal Reserve Banks will adopt the ISO 20022 message format for FedWire and fund services. We also know that Pat Thielen at the time from Ripple was on that committee, and so was James Wallace from Ripple as well. And look, I mean, this just really stands to the point. We've been following this information for so long, and it's all right here in front of our face. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Dark Defender says new price targets to pay attention to here. Let's look at the micro patterns of XRP together in the 4-hour chart. Short-term targets are $1.23 and $1.33, where the support is, if we roll back in price, is at 98 cents is our first backtest support line should we hit it. Here is the chart right here and the kind of motion that we may expect to see, but it is a theory-based information which changes and is very organic as the buyers and sellers continue to move the needle throughout the day. We'll keep an eye on it. But this would be Elliott Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that could take us to those particular price targets that were just mentioned. So that's where we are today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not sure about what to do with your taxes, this gentleman right here is the foremost authority on crypto taxes. And I tell you, there are tons of services. You can get to do it yourself, resources for doing your own taxes. He has that stuff for you. Schedule a consultation about your tax situation. Get audit protection design for crypto owners. And then there's many other services up here as well. Do not be afraid to reach out to him. Whatever you do, do not ignore the fact that you have crypto. If you've bought and sold it or what have you, make sure you're handling it right so it doesn't come back to bite you. Check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. Ledger Nano is the best cold storage with the best deals, but you got to click the links. 99-cent 7-day trial for hiding your identity online. Pure VPN, that's what we're talking about. Or how about buying crypto tax-free with iTrust Capital, the best offering for crypto IRAs on the planet, bar none. I'll catch all of you on the next one.